trip to Budapest did not start out the way I originally planned. I had some awkward reunions, canceling some plans, I had some rejection, and I had a heavy dose of jet lag. But it turned out to be one of the best Muay Thai experiences of my life. So here's how the rocky arrival became the perfect start to Punches and Passports. Let's go. Growing up, I used to love watching anything martial arts related on TV. It could be the old school 70s martial arts films or Discovery shows. There was one show in particular called Fight Quest with Jimmy and Doug, and they would go around to different countries. They would train in a martial art for about 5 days, and then they would go and do an exhibition match at the end of the episode. I remember thinking to myself, man, that is so cool. I haven't been back to Budapest in about 3 years. I'm a professional photographer and I do video work, and I thought to myself, wait a second, maybe I should just do my own kind of fight quest. So here we are. That's how it got started, when how I got the idea for Punches and Passports. So to make matters even cooler, I had the coach from here in Budapest reach out to me just randomly out of nowhere. I told a few friends about my idea, they all thought it was really cool, and then about a week later, he reached out to me out of nowhere. I haven't talked to him for about 3 years, and he said, hey, we need to come back to Budapest and train with me. When I saw the text come through, my jaw pretty much hit the floor. I was like, this is crazy. Talk about manifestation. So I told him, I was like, hey, I'm thinking about planning a trip back to Budapest. I want to train with you. I also am a photographer. I do YouTube videos now. And would you be up for shooting some videos and making some tutorials, and maybe we could document the training? And he was like, absolutely. He's like, hey, come to Budapest and let's film the videos. I'm like, solid. So from there, I'm starting to get excited. So I'm like, all right, I better hop on Expedia. Let's look at flights and see when I can start flying in. And it turned out if I fly into Hamburg, Germany first, I could stay there for a couple of days. It'd actually be cheaper than flying straight into Budapest. So like most guys, I hop right on Tinder, started looking for matches, and actually got a really good match. And I kind of told her about my idea. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to Budapest. I'm gonna make some videos and do some content, but I'm gonna stop in Hamburg. So we got to talking, everything's going really good. And then about maybe about 2.5 weeks before my flight, she tells me, hey, listen, I gotta be honest with you. I kinda got feelings for another guy and think it's really cool, it's going good. And I'm like, bruh. So at this point, I'm like, all right, I can't get too mad. So let's just cut the stay in Hamburg short, and then I'll just fly over to Budapest. So a couple of weeks before my flight to Budapest, I had an ex-girlfriend reach out to me out of nowhere, and she's sending me like these funny reels of like these couples doing like gym dates and doing cool photography shoots. And then she's asking like, hey, are you gonna come back here? And are you thinking about coming back for a while? Like what do you think about doing? I didn't even tell her I was gonna make a plan to come back. So I was like, well, hey, actually I am gonna come back. And she was like, hey, like I'm getting into videos. I wanna start making some videos. And I'm like, perfect. I'm trying to do videos too. So let's shoot the videos. We can go on fun dates. We can go to a new city. We can go explore. We can maybe even go out of the country. I'm like, this is perfect. So I kid you not, guys, about a week before my flight to Budapest, she sends me this voice message and says, hey, listen, I gotta be kind of honest with you. I just started seeing a guy and things are going really well. So I just want to put it out there. I'm like,
come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So can't get too mad, I guess. So I fly into Budapest, right? And then I take a taxi to my Airbnb, and it turns out the guy, the taxi driver, he's actually a really big K1 kickboxing fan. So he asked me, he's like, hey, like, what are you doing here in Budapest? And I told him, I was like, hey, I'm here to train some kickboxing, do some Muay Thai, and I'm gonna do like some photography, some videos. And he's like, dude, no way. And then so we started talking about K1, all the old school fighters like Ernesto Hoost, Peter Arts, Bob Sapp, Mirko Krokop. And then so we're having a good time. We're talking about the old school K1 kickboxing game on PS1. And then so I was like, dude, this is crazy. This feels like it's almost destiny. And then I told him about, hey, like I had this ex that reached out to me, and she was pumping me up, sending me heart eyes, sending me all these like old photos from us together, saying we can do this together, go on fun dates, go on trips. And then she sprung on me that she has a boyfriend. And then he even looked at me, he's like, bruh, he's like, dude, don't even trip, man. He's like, it's gonna be about 85 degrees here for the next 4 days in Budapest. Don't even worry about her, like don't trip. Just focus on your trip, focus on your journey, do the training, get your photos, get your videos. And I was like, dude, thanks, man, I appreciate it. So this is the cab driver giving me this advice. So I thought it was really cool. Okay, so now comes the hard part. try to navigate the city. So I've been on Duolingo for over 1,000 days, but by no means can I fully express myself in Hungarian. I can say very basic things like tea, coffee, and airport, but by no means can I really explain why I'm here. So I've been walking around about a 1 mile radius. Thankfully I'm able to get to the grocery store and walk back, but as I'm walking the streets, I'm looking at street signs, I have no clue where I'm going. I can't even pronounce the names on the streets. So I thought to myself, I was like, okay, how can I get around the city, go to like the Budo Castle or the Parliament or the Hero Square and get the shots that I want, because I want to show you guys the city. So I thought to myself, I was like, wait a second, I actually follow this woman that does private tours here in Budapest. Maybe I can send her a professional email, reach out to her and explain what I'm trying to do. So I sent her an email, thankfully she did respond, and then I responded back, explained what I'm trying to do. Crickets, left me on red. So I'm like, ay. So stay tuned for the next episode because things actually did turn around in my favor. I got some more training. Thankfully, I figured out the bus system and I want to take you guys on a journey with me. All right, so make sure you stay tuned. See the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. So unfortunately, there's some copyright music playing in the background. That's the one downside to filming in a gym. There's almost always music playing and oftentimes you get a copyright strike for it. So I'll just have to do a little bit of a voiceover for you here. And also, I totally forgot to switch my camera from US to European format, PAL. So there's a little bit of light flickering, so good to know. So guys, if you're traveling to Europe, you're in the US, make sure you change your format on your camera to avoid the flickering. So here, I'm trying to get my timing right, get my balance right, because like I said, I was so jet lagged, I was feeling like so dizzy, like I took shots of Jack Daniels. So, but I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm here, let's just go to work. Why wait? Let's get to it, let's get to work, let's do this. So here, towards the end, I started finally getting my tempo, getting my balance, hitting the pads correctly, because whenever you work with someone that you haven't hit with or somebody new, you have to get the timing and the flow right, and you have to get used to their commands, because they might say 4, and here in the US, when we hear 4, we're gonna think jab cross, hook cross. But I was over there in Hungary, and then his 4 was just 1 2 1 2. So it's like little things like that. But once you get the commands right, get the tempo right, and you start flowing, and then you're good to go. So, all right, guys, hope you liked the video. See you guys on the next one. Thanks for rocking with me.